Credence by Penelope Douglas. I read it. I think that, she's a great writer for the people who like those type of books, but it just wasn't for me.
Well, I commend you on finishing the book because I just.
Happy Thursday and welcome to our mid-year review.
Yay!
So we have,
I said that's my chair.
We're going to be going over our mid-year review.
Yeah, it is the mid-year freak tag. No, what's it called? It's called the mid-year freak out tag. Boom.
There you
But
go.
apparently, a lot of the bookstagram or booktubers are doing so.
Mid-year freak out tag.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't ask me to say that fast. Not happening. Okay, so for our first category, total number of books you've read this year, so far this year, Colette.
61.
Get it.
Wait, so last year I read 65 and now I'm just like, Jesus.
No, for real. Like I'm almost at my goal for the year and I'm like,
yeah. So I think I'm going to be between 3 and 4 books for the rest of the year every month. I'm not doing more.
That's good though. And the thing is that you've read like none of these are audiobooks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. That's really awesome.
What about you?
35. Which is a lot for me. By this time of the year. I've been aggressively reading this year, more aggressively than I normally do. So that is a lot for me. That's, I'm usually like maybe
fantastic. I'm just saying.
Thank you.
And then we still have 6 months left to go.
Yeah, maybe I'll just coast through the rest of the year.
That's what I was saying. All right. So what's our first one we're starting with?
Favorite book. Do you want to start off? Go ahead, Colette.
So I actually had 4. I'm gonna name them. They're not in any particular order, but the last one is my top favorite for the year so far. Okay. I have one of the physical books, which is Saving Sunflower.
She raves about that book whenever she gets the chance.
I sure do. I also read 30, which is the other book in that series. Binding 13, surprisingly, I really enjoyed. Not the second book. That's the first book. The second book is when it started. And I was like, But Binding 13, I did enjoy. And then my top favorite of the year, Lessons from a Hidden Treasure.
I had a feeling. You think you could guess my favorite of the year?
Butcher and Blackbird.
No. What? No. So my favorite, which really, I was only picking one for each category. And that's fine with me because I would be here for like a whole week sitting here. I'm going to have to say that my absolute favorite of so far this year is Twisted Crown by Rachel Gillig, which is the sequel to One Dark Window. For me, it's not often. Yes. I'm talking, this woman knows how to write a sequel. And if you go look at the reviews for that book on Goodreads or Amazon, people, they agree. Anyways, that's my favorite book.
I love that. All right, what's the next one?
Least favorite. Now, this depends. Least favorite. I have a least favorite that I have yet to finish because I keep telling myself I'm going to finish it. But then I have a least favorite that I finished.
I know what you're talking about. That is under a different category for me.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with least favorite for some other books. There was 3.
Okay.
And they weren't bad books. They were just, for the hype that I saw, I just felt like it should have been better. So XOXO by Axio. No. Belladonna. I was very underwhelmed with that book.
Gosh, I gotta read that.
I'm very disappointed. And then also Mercer by Gray Huffington. Yeah. Those are my three.
So my least favorite, and I'm just gonna put the one, Credence by Penelope Douglas. I read it. I think that, she's a great writer for the people who like those type of books, but it just wasn't for me.
Well, I commend you on finishing the book because I just. So. All right, what's next?
The next one is favorite character.
Favorite character.
I narrowed it down.
Actually, I have two.
Get it, girl?
I have two this year.
Was it hard?
So, no, actually. Surprisingly, no.
Really?
Even though I enjoyed books and everything, like these two characters stood out the most to me in the books that I read. So, but we'll start with you.
Oh, okay. So for mine, the one that I wrote down was Lark Montague, and she's from Leather and Lark, which is in the second book that comes after Butcher and Blackbird. Now, yeah, it's her. She's amazing. She is amazing. The other character that would be right there with her is Elspeth Spindle from One Dark Window. She's a badass bitch.
I am going to read that.
Yeah, okay.
I have it. It's on Kindle Unlimited. For any of you that may want to read it, it's currently on Kindle Unlimited. So I downloaded it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
My favorite character. So, Lessons from a Hidden Treasure, obviously, was my favorite book. We talked about Pierre, and I keep wanting to call her Antoinette, but Antoinette is the author. Pierre and Treasure. They're great. So I had to go back and read the first three books because it's Sammy's and Shabu's books. Shabu, I'm sorry, I love him. And his character development from where he came, like what we got with Pierre, Shabu was way worse.
Really?
Like, yeah. His character growth. Yeah, his character growth, I'm sorry, top tier. I loved it.
Yeah.
And then
Pierre was good. So
yeah. And that's one book. So imagine that. And then my other favorite character, I don't think you're gonna get, so I'm just gonna say it, was Lydia from House of Flame and Shadow.
Yeah, I haven't finished it, but from what I heard from everyone, like it's.
Yeah. She is. She's fantastic. I'm sorry. I even put her on my bad bitches list, whatever we call it. Like, she is fantastic. I'm sorry. I need a book for her. She needs a book. I don't even need you to write no more Akatar books. I need you to write a book about Lydia.
Sarah, we need to get on this.
Right. SJM, hop to it. Appreciate you. But continue to write Akatar, but we need a book for Lydia. Just saying. All right, next.
Favorite new author?
Antoinette Sherrill. I went down the rabbit hole. I read some more of her books.
You did. She was like, I'm going to read it.
Outside of those first three books, I went and read some more of her books this month. So, yeah. I enjoy her writing. She's up there. And for you?
For me, no surprise. Yeah. I actually have two.
Oh. I only have
one. Go ahead, guess. Go ahead, Colette.
I was going to say Rachel Gillig is one.
She is one.
Knew it.
And I'm already all up on, like, I was like, okay, what? I need another book. When is she going to put out another book? And she actually has one coming out in May 2025, a new series, a duology. So I'm excited. I hope it's just as good. And then I'm going to have to say Brynne Weaver, which is the author of Butcher and Blackbird and Yep, and Leather and Lark. Um, I know that some people, when it came to Butcher and Blackbird, were like, "Oh, it's not a dark." Don't look at it as a dark romance. Look at it as a comedy, and I promise you, you will enjoy the book. I mean, if you like that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she surprised me, and I really enjoyed her writing.
I'm
So
happy for that. Now you have me having two different people I need to read, Liz. It's fine. It's cool. Still love you. All
I
right,
know
what's
what you
next?
could add for you, Allie.
You know what? Yes. Now that I've read more of her books, yeah, I absolutely can add her into, yeah. She's funny.
Yes, she is.
She's funny.
Yes, she is.
I think it takes a lot for you to be an author to be able to write something and I laugh out loud. Not like a little
She does that.
like I'm literally like, what? Like, yeah. Yeah.
And
But
then the next one, best sequel.
no, you told me to bet. Actually, no. No. Best sequel for me was From the Hood with Love, too. I need you to read that list. Side note, I really do need you to read that. Like, it is the most outrageous novel I've ever read in my entire life. I think you would enjoy it. It's so dumb, but it's so good. What about you?
I mean, Twisted Crown.
That's fine. I agree with that.
I would say, okay, another one would be the second book in the Mindfuck series by S.T. Abbey. I just don't remember the name of it. It's a set of 4 books, but together it's called the Mindfuck series. But that one was that series was pretty good too. Like it was good throughout the whole thing. So, but I'm gonna stick with Twisted Crown.
Okay, I support it. All right, what's next?
The next one, new release that we haven't picked up yet, but we want to.
We both have the same thing.
And I just remembered one right before I got on. The second book, To Anatomy.
Yeah. I just realized that was out. Yeah. I told my mom too.
Yeah. So
she was mad at me because of you. You know.
Hi,
Mom. Just say, my
Mom.
mom don't want to read none of my books. She liked all the stuff Liz liked. Liz has good recommendations. I don't want to read your little hood novels. I'm like, you know what, Mom?
Hi,
still
Mom.
Love you though.
Your beautiful smile. Colette's mother has the most beautiful smile, like lights up a whole room. You could not be sad if she's smiling. I'm just saying. Gorgeous smile.
So that's the book. And then do you have your physical copy?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I'm so excited to start this.
Me too. Alana's going to read it first.
Wait, did she finish my Dark Romeo?
Yes. Yeah. She liked it. The next one we have is new release coming out in the second half of the year that you are excited for, no?
Oh, yes. I have 2.
Me too.
If you watch our I Digress news, we actually put them in our list. So 2 of them, both of them come out next month, or this month actually, when this video will be up, which is in July, which is Not Another Love Song by Julie Soto, and then also Between Friends and Lovers by Charlene Abubi. I know I'm mispronouncing your last name. I'm so sorry. But yeah, those 2 books I'm excited to read. And what about you, Elizabeth?
I have 2 as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have With Love, Echo Park by Laura Taylor Nemay, who
you said you have, yeah.
Yes. So she has a new book coming out later and she's also another one that Every book that I've gotten from her, I've enjoyed. They are YA, but
Mm.
they're like wholesome YA and really good.
Yes.
Yes. So I have that one, and then the other one is Somewhere Beyond the Sea by T.J. Klune. It's a
I've heard of that.
sequel to The House on the
The
Cerulean Sea.
Cerulean Sea. Yeah.
I really enjoyed
I've
that book
heard
a
so
lot.
much. You read it? I've heard
Yeah,
nothing but great reviews about it. Okay, now I have to go read that too, Elizabeth.
it's such a cute book. It's such a good book. I felt really good after reading it.
Yeah.
The character growth for the main one of the main male characters was really good. So yeah, that's my other book.
Okay, okay, okay. And
Next
then,
category,
yeah,
biggest surprise. Go ahead, Colette.
I had three.
Really?
Yeah, the first one was Lessons from a Hidden Treasure. I didn't think I was gonna love it that much. I thought it was gonna be like a typical hood novel that it makes me feel good, but it's not like, you know, it
I'm
doesn't
gonna
give me all
I'm
the
gonna add
emotion.
that one. That's gonna
Yeah,
be
it
on my
didn't
list too.
that. And then I had My Dark Romeo. That came out of nowhere.
Didn't it? Well, you showed me. You're like Elizabeth, even though you know not to call me that. It's fine. You need to read this, and it
Yeah.
was great.
And
Yeah.
then the Soul Crush series that I was talking to you and Alana about the guy that was bipolar or schizophrenic. I can't remember. But, and then his girlfriend and falling in love. And it was just a really great series. I love the way she talked about his mental illness and what he had going on and how they had to deal with it. And then her getting into basically a drug addiction, and them having to navigate that while he's still navigating. Because when she gets into that, he's literally just coming out of, what do you call it? A mental hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's having to help her get through her drug addiction. So it was just a really, really good series. I really enjoyed it.
And also
Mm-hmm.
for that author, because when we were talking about it, because
Mm-hmm.
Alana's very particular about people speaking about mental health issues and not knowing about it. So it led us to
Yes.
look into the author, and she actually really does. She
A
studied this.
license. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So this isn't someone who's just writing about mental
Yeah.
illness, not knowing what she's talking about. She knows what she's talking about. She's not
Yes. And the
misdiagnosing
way
or
that she
anything.
broke it down for me, I'm not saying for me, but for me, the way that she broke it down made me really understand. Because I've heard, you've heard schizophrenia, you heard bipolar, you don't really know. If you haven't looked into it, or if you don't have anyone that's in your close circle that has to deal with it, you don't really know what it means. You've heard the
So true.
terminology, the basics. But for her to break it down the way she broke it down, and
Mm-hmm.
even tell like the telltale signs leading up to his mental break, like, I'm sorry, she did that so well. I was like, wow, I had no idea that's what they were going through. Like, that's a lot. And for her to have to deal with it, that's their first love for each other. They're young because she's like 19 or something and he's like 21. So they're like super young, and them having to navigate that and learn together. Like, I just thought it was a really good book.
I agree.
Well,
From what I know. From what I know. So for me, I only have one. And it is One of Us is Dead by Geneva Rose. This book, I'm talking about, you were just talking about laughing out loud, kiki, ha ha out loud. This book had me like that. The way that Geneva Rose wrote this book was set in interview. I don't even want to say interview style because it's from the person's point of view, but she's talking to you like if she's doing, what are those? I don't really watch reality TV like that. What is it when they do the side scene where they're explaining what's going on? A what?
Personal interview.
Yes. So it's, the way the characters are talking to you is it like they're just explaining. So good. It's a mystery, a funny murder mystery. Again, I'm gonna say, like I said last time, Desperate Housewives meets Real Housewives. Great book. And it was my biggest surprise. And I got it because It was available on Audible Plus. So I
Mm.
got to listen to it for free and was super surprised.
Really?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
For our Audible girlies. There you go.
Mhm.
All right, what's next?
It is our biggest disappointment.
I have a physical manifestation of my biggest disappointment. And
Is it mine
it
too?
is also the largest book.
I haven't even finished it.
The largest book. This was 1,000 pages of Lydia being tired for having to carry this book. Okay?
And Bryce being a brat.
Shout out to Lydia. Please give her a book. We ain't even gonna talk about the rest of the people because they don't matter. We need Lydia. We need support for Lydia. Lydia needs what do you call it? I don't know. Whatever the literary efficient equivalent is to a Grammy. Okay? She need that because she did it. I'm just saying.
Get it.
That's all. What about you?
Is it one that we finished or didn't finish?
Whatever floats your boat, boo.
Okay, one that I finished was Hooked. I liked the book,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
I was disappointed because I thought it was going to be more.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the book. So I'm not saying it's a bad book. I blame Book Talk. I really do. They really
Yeah.
hyped it up. But Alana was like, "You didn't like James, which is the main male character." I'm like, "No, he's dumb. He got me mad." Like, but and not finished Haunting Adeline. So stupid.
Oh, I finished that. I'm sorry, I forgot about it. I scrubbed it from my memory. That could be added to.
Yeah.
Foolishness. It still didn't make me as much of a disappointment as this, though. This one was a little bit more personal for me because, you remember last year I was trying to get through them all.
Yeah.
So I can do this book. And I was just like, girl.
And it isn't just us. Like there were a lot of people who were disappointed with that book.
Yeah.
I still haven't finished it because of the disappointment. We
All right.
digress and move on, guys.
All right.
Next category is a book that made you cry. If you're like me, they
This
all make
year,
you cry.
none. This year, none.
I'm such a sap.
Last year I had like 3 or 4 books that made me cry, but so far I haven't read any that made me that emotional.
No, I got one.
What's your one?
Next Year in Havana by Chanel Cleaton.
I'm gonna read it, girl. I'm gonna read it.
I boohoo cried.
Really?
Yeah. In the car.
No, I did cry this year.
Good.
Well, it wasn't sad cry.
No, you still cried.
Lessons from a Hidden Treasure.
It didn't say what book made you sad cry. What? No.
Yeah. Lessons from a Hidden Treasure. When they did the birthday party and the parents came on the screen.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I know other books made me cry because everything makes me cry, but this book stands out because this one, like with emotion, like there wasn't snot falling down, but maybe if I was actually hydrated and not dehydrated, that would have happened.
Okay, we'll go with that list.
I don't know. I was just throwing shit out there. I don't know if that's medically correct. I was being dramatic.
Oh, man.
Colette, you would be the one to point that out. Anyway, next category. Drum roll, please. It's our book boyfriends, guys. What's a book without a boyfriend? It's a book. It's a book. That's what it is. It's a book without a boyfriend.
Right.
You're going to go first because I got a few. I know you got
3. Shabu.
I got to read those books.
Yeah. and you know how much I love Pierre, because Pierre is on there too. He's also another book boyfriend. But again, if we read his book first before I went back and read the other 3 books. I'm sorry, Shabu's growth. Yeah, he got Pierre beat, but Pierre's still a book boyfriend. So that's my 2, and then my 3rd one is Dre. From 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So here goes my list. We see who the hopeless romantic is here. I have Rowan from Butcher and Blackbird.
I
Next
think you
up,
just have an affinity for the name.
it's not my fault that all the Rowans are hot, okay? It's not my fault. It's just, but my number 1 Rowan is, Whitethorn. Rowan
Yeah.
Whitethorn. Anyways, because there's no other man that could respectfully put you in your place the way that Rowan Whitethorn put Aelin in her place. Anyways, next is Rylan Lonan from the Night Market.
You're right.
That man, he knew how to court somebody. He was courting her without her knowing she was being courted.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yes, he was.
Next on my list is Agent Logan Bennett from the Mindfuck series. This man, what he did for this woman, yes, top tier. Next, Twisted Crown. I have 2 from that book. Yes. I have Prince Elm.
I'm glad you had so many.
Yeah. I had Prince Elm, Delish, and Nightmare. Yeah, no, you got to read it to understand.
Nightmare like from Marvel? Is he like that?
No, Nightmare like from Twisted Crown.
Okay.
He
Is he morally gray?
He's in her head. I don't know how else to say it.
I'm done. I'm going to read it. What?
I'm not saying anything else.
I'm going to read it. Out for that alone. After now. What?
Okay. Anyways, on to the next. That's what I get for my little snippy remark.
Girl.
Lachlan from Leather and Lark.
Lord Jesus.
I think it's the Irish accent.
She likes the alliterations. Bryn Weaver.
What do you mean?
Butcher and Blackbird, Leather and Lark.
Yeah, well, he works with Leather. And Butcher, he's the Boston Butcher.
Okay, go ahead, girl.
And then last, of course, this guy has to be on my list because when is he not when he's in any book? Hades from A Touch of Darkness.
Okay, Liz had a whole list. I just had my 3. Liz was like, nah, let's go through them.
Next category, now that we went through our forever long list of boyfriends, is a book that made me happy. Colette, what books made you happy? Books.
I have 3. I don't own any physical copies yet, but they're on my list to buy because, I'm doing better in life and I'm buying books that I actually like. So the first one is The Night Market. That book made me happy. I really enjoyed it. The next one is called I Choose You by Mel Dow. This is my first book that I've ever read where one of the main characters is autistic. So it's her mind processing falling in love for the first time and being in the adult world and navigating that without her dad holding her hand. So I thought it was super cute, really, really well written. And then the next one is A Pack of Love and Hate by Olivia Wildenstein.
That's your girl. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's actually a lot of books that made me happy so far.
Yeah.
I've actually read a lot of good books this year.
Yes.
So I have five because of course I have, okay, One Dark Window and Twisted Crown. I just put them together. Those books made me so happy.
Okay.
I can't stop ranting about them. It's fun. One Dark Window and Twisted Crown. Anyway, then I have Silver Spells by Kate Mosman.
Really?
That book made me really happy, especially because it's written middle-aged woman. She gets her magic powers. You know, it was just a cute book, well written, cozy.
You know, she's gonna be at something. I'll put it on the screen. I'm going to send it to you, but for all those who are in the Central Florida area, she's going to be at something. It'll be on the screen.
Oh, then I'm going.
But I think she's doing like an author signing event or something like that.
I'm going. My next book is Next Year in Havana. That book really brought so much joy to my life. Just being able to hear a part of the history of Cuba from like a different perspective and hearing it correlate with stories that I've heard growing up.
Wow.
Like, you know, that, and then The Night Market by Jessica Sundin.
We both had The Night Market. Yeah, that
Because
was a super cute book. It was such a feel good book.
To read The Sons. That's what I should have put on as
the sequel.
Yeah.
We're gonna add that, y'all. That's part of the sequel. The second book came out with the son's love story, so that's also another anticipated sequel that we want to read.
Yes, because they touch on it at the end of The Night Market. Yeah. You get a glimpse
into his future,
into the son's future. And it's funny because when we read that, we're like, oh my God, I hope she writes it. And like a week later, the news came out that she was letting it out. We're like, yeah. So yeah.
If y'all watch us, if you don't watch us, we'll link it. We'll link the video so that you can see it. We did a book review on there, The Night Market. Really good book. I highly recommend it. Yes, highly recommend it. All right, what's next?
Your prettiest book this year. I actually don't have mine with me. It's out in the living room, and I'm not going into the lion's den right now.
Okay. So I have two.
Yes, that is beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That really, yeah, I would have to say that one is probably my favorite one besides the other one that you got. Look at that.
Yeah.
What was the other one? The Crimson Moth.
Oh. Yeah. And I read it. I actually enjoyed this book a lot. But look at this end cover.
That's beautiful. I like the metallic, like the shiny, accents.
And this is what I was telling you. I think you had asked me about who flips their reverse dust jacket. This is the reverse side of the dust jacket that they gave. I like this one better than the original copy they sent. But these are my favorite two books this year that I got, or prettiest, I should say. Yeah. What was the book though? I know you don't have it, but what was the book?
Spanish Love Deception. We just put it on our video. Yeah. Yeah.
Or especially last week or the week before, but yeah, you saw it.
Yep.
All right. And then what's the final one? And then the next one is books you want to read before the end of the year, right?
All of them. But yes.
So you don't have specifics?
No. I just started writing stuff down and it just ended up being so many. So
well, I can go.
Go ahead.
that I know for certain that I want to finish before the end of the year.
I can do some off the top of my head, and you might
Yes.
name some. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. My first one is God Killer. Bookstores, stop doing this. Stop it.
It doesn't come off.
It does, but like, stop. Foolishness.
Foolish.
Now that it asked me if it comes off, I'm trying to take it off, but still, yeah. God Killer. I've heard too much about this. I need to read this before the end of the year. Now, we talked about how I typically don't damage my books. This one is damaged. I blame my husband.
Mike.
He did it. I don't care what nobody say.
Right. He didn't do it, y'all.
I need to read this before the end of the year. Yeah, the time I got drunk and saved a demon. Because what is that? The Name Drop by Susan Lee. She's going to be at a Polycon, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah. Sing Me to Sleep by Gabby Burton.
That's pretty.
Isn't it? Super gorgeous. Look at the edges.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
I want to read this because Black Romance Festival, they have a reading list on StoryGraph. We'll link it below in the description if you guys want to participate, of all the authors that are going to be there. And she's one of the authors. And I've had this book since last year. So I was like, well, go ahead and read.
Time.
And then the one that I most anticipate, even more so than the time I got drunk and saved a demon, is Darling Venom.
Ooh.
She is the other half, or she's one half of the authors for My Dark Romeo. Let me just read you the synopsis real quick so you can see why I'm so excited. It says, I wasn't supposed to be on that roof on Valentine's Day. Neither was Killian Marinetti, the school's designated freak. We met on the verge of ending our lives. Somehow, the tattered strings of our tragedies tangled and tightened into an unlikely bond. We decided not to take the plunge and agreed to check on one another every Valentine's Day until school ended. Same time, on the roof, two restless souls. We kept our promise for 3 years. On the 4th, Killian made a decision and I was left to deal with the consequences. Just when I thought our story ended and another one began, they say all love stories look the same and taste different. Mine was venomous, disgraceful, and written in scarlet stars. My name is Charlotte Richards, but you can call me Venom.
That sounds good.
Girl, I was like, yeah, I'm going to read this. It says, my first love ended in tragedy, but my second began with his brother. Yeah, I got to read that. What about you?
So I have My Dark Desires on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Belladonna.
Mm-hmm.
I have this, besides the ones that I've already mentioned.
Right.
Okay. Let's see here. So I have the Belladonna.
Mm-hmm.
I have the new Ali Hazelwood. I don't know where I put it.
Not in Love?
Huh?
Not in Love?
Yeah.
You have it?
Yeah. And I gave it to Alana because Book of the Month has it too.
For June?
And I have all her books hardcover except for that one.
For June?
No, it's just an add-on. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, why wouldn't you make it a selection?
I was about to say, yeah. That's why you
So I have that one, and then I have another Ali Hazelwood that I haven't read yet. Loathe to Love You, I think is what it's called. And it's just a collection of short stories that she has. I want to read all the Abby Jimenez books I have because I hear people rant and rave about her.
The one that you got, the summer something, when we were together.
The newest one? Yeah. Not the newest one. Is it
the one you got in the Book of the Month?
Yes.
Everybody's raving about that book. So now I'm like, I need to go back and go put it on as an add-on.
Yeah, I like everybody says great things about her. My next book is The Unmaking of June Farrow by
I
Adrienne
heard about
Young.
that. Let me know how you feel about
Yeah,
that. I go
yeah,
back and forth.
yeah. And then I have um Chasing Dust.
She's a local author, isn't she?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's falling. My books that I had to show
You're
that I
fine.
didn't show. It's fine. Um, so I have that I want to read by her.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of the Kate Mosman Silver Spells books.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, those are that is our mid-year wrap up. Tell us if you've read any of those books or answer any of those prompt questions. We'll actually have it on there. So we'll have the prompts on the bottom, you guys. If you screen and you touch it, you can actually go to whatever prompt you want to if you don't want to watch the whole thing, even though we would enjoy it. We would love for you to watch the whole thing.
But we get it.
Right. We get it. But let us know if you have any of those. What's your biggest disappointment? What's your biggest surprise? I want to hear that.
Yes.
Because, like I said, My Dark Romeo came out of nowhere for me. I just thought it was just a random Kindle Unlimited book. Like, fine. So, yeah, let us know. But as always, you guys, like, share, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and we will see y'all next week.